Hello everyone! Let's discover something about Frieza, why he is more durable and stronger than Goku and Vegeta. I have two reasons. Firstly, it's because of his skin, or rather his skin. Looking at Frieza's skin, the white part, especially in his earlier transformations, it becomes obvious that his skin is actually a kind of bioarmor or carapace. This would add a good deal to his durability. Look at the placement of the armor, again the white parts in his forms. In his first form, it was only around his head. His second form, it was around his upper body and shoulders. Third form, it looks much more like an actual armor that covers more of his upper body. His final form, it finally covers his entire body. With his golden form, it's less obvious, but his upper body, forearms, shins, head, and even the outer part of his tail all have a lighter shade of gold, which indicates that these parts are his most vulnerable and are covered in armor still. The tail is arguable, as I thought myself. In fact, I thought it was just lighting. That is until you realize that in literally every art and scene with Golden Frieza, the color scheme continues. So again, this would add a good deal to his durability. In each of his forms, the purple areas become less prominent and more covered as the bioarmor becomes more and more prevalent. Now compare this to his golden form where those same areas are even more covered, though slight. The purple on his head is slimmer. The other areas have become slimmer and less prominent with the golden skin covering more of his body. It's just more proof, in my opinion, that it's armor used to protect himself and his more vulnerable areas, the purple areas, which we see when he gets hit in the head in DBZ from Goku. And here is another example of him getting hit in the purple area by Goku, and later on by Vegeta. The purple areas seem to be a very vulnerable area that he's trying to cover up with his bioarmor. Much like how we humans who have our ribcage that serves to protect our heart and organs. Moving on. Now for the second and main reason. And that's simply because Frieza is more powerful than Goku and Vegeta individually. However, Frieza doesn't have complete control over his power, and this prevents him from truly going all out in a way that isn't detrimental to himself. We actually have a few things to draw from in regards to this, so stick around. Now we know that Frieza is apparently gifted in the ways of having an extraordinary amount of power. So much so that by his own admission, he's never had a reason to train. He was simply always powerful, but when he did finally train, in only a span of 4 months, he was able to achieve his golden form. This form was more powerful than Goku in his Super Saiyan Blue form. Even Goku admits as much during their fight. Yes, I know that Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan is the actual name, but that's honestly a ridiculous name. Afterwards, Frieza was killed again, but he came back later, and he and Goku had a brief fight after he was resurrected, and this time, he and Goku both hit each other so hard, they killed each other. This was particularly amazing because Frieza had been dead and imprisoned in Earth's hell for a time, but Goku wasn't. In fact, Goku had been training all this time, but Frieza hadn't been. There's no way he could. He was literally bound in a tree in hell. Moving further, in the events of the tournament, we can see how Goku's training has paid off. But Frieza largely laid back and didn't do much until the end when he finally engages a wounded and winded Jiren. This is the same Jiren who later required Master UI Goku to fight and push him to the brink. In fact, Frieza fought him evenly with a slight edge with his taunting Jiren and getting Jiren to lose his composure due to his own rage. Even number 17 commented on how powerful they both were as their clash literally tore up the ground around and beneath them. Frieza likely would have had the kill shot here, but Jiren discovered the power of friendship, like a My Little Pony character, and suddenly revives and pummels him. However, the most damning bit of evidence comes from the DBS Broly movie, when Frieza fights Broly. During their fight, Goku and Vegeta were first learning the fusion dance, and finally went through 2 failed fusions before successfully becoming Gogeta. The 2 failed fusions alone were both 30 minutes long. So that's an hour where Frieza fought against Broly alone, not to mention the time it took them to learn the dance. During his fight, and according to the light novel, we get snippets that Frieza is indeed incredibly powerful. Powerful enough, in fact, that Broly had to change tactics, and despite his rage was forced to switch gears. And here are some statements that have been made. Golden Frieza's punches were able to dull Broly's movements a bit if landed properly, and if he were to throw blows with all of his might, Broly would go for avoiding them. However, that was all he could do. Frieza continued being a sandbag. However, being able to take Broly's attacks over and over again for over 30 minutes is nothing short of amazing. As expected, he's not called the Emperor of the Universe for nothing. And thus, Frieza's battle continued on for over an hour. However, his stamina was nearing its ends. On the other hand, Broly continued attacking without losing any power, as if his stamina were limitless. Broly did not step any closer. Could he have felt that Frieza no longer had any power left to resist? As he let out a roar, Broly flared his aura and launched in a completely different location. Ugh, splendid! What splendid power! It was without a doubt no being that could have won against this Broly existed. After the beating he had received, this much was clear to him. To Frieza, he represented a potential powerful weapon. These snippets show without a doubt that Frieza is indeed much more powerful than either Goku or Vegeta. As the light novel proves, Frieza's punches were capable of stunning and even knocking back Broly. Broly was forced to either defend himself against his attacks or dodge them altogether. Frieza was simply just that powerful. Neither Goku nor Vegeta could do that kind of damage to Broly, who was fully enraged and powered up. Not until they fused into Gogeta. Now, I'm not saying that Frieza is on Gogeta's level. Oh no, but I am saying that aside from Gogeta, Frieza was likely the most powerful person Broly had ever faced in combat. So again, why was Frieza much more durable? Because he's simply much more powerful and naturally better equipped than either Goku or Vegeta. Respect the Universal Emperor.